Hello students, today I want to welcome you to my math video. As you can see on the board that we're going to deal with simple interest. And when it comes to simple interest, you want to work out a problem. It says, find the simple interest of borrowing $15,000 at 10% interest for 4 years. Then how much will you have to pay back? So there are two things that you want to find in a problem like this. First, we want to use a formula to find a simple interest. So how much interest you're going to pay back. And the second part is how much you will pay back the institution that you borrow the money from. So with no further delay, let's go straight into solving the problem. So simple interest in a problem like this, you want to use a formula. The formula for simple interest, SI, which is simple interest, equals P times R times T. So there are three things you want to find. The principal times the rate times the time divided by 100. So this is the formula we're going to use to find our simple interest for this problem. So let's convert our principal into a number from the problem, which is a 15,000. Your rate is 10% that you're going to pay on the money that you borrow. And the time, they're going to give you 4 years to pay back the money that you borrow. Now we want to convert our formula into numbers in order for us to solve the problem. Remember, we borrowed $15,000 from the institution. We're going to pay them back 10% interest for 4 years. So simple interest equals your principal, which is $15,000. That's the amount that you borrow. Your rate times, you're going to pay 10%. And we know that percent goes over 100. Times the 4 years that they gave us to pay back the money that we borrow over 100. So remember, simple interest equals principal times rate times time divided by 100. Okay, so as we continue the problem, we want to get rid of zeros. We have 2 zeros here that we could cancel. So we could cancel 2 from here. So now we're left with 150 times 10 times 4, and we multiply those numbers, and that will tell us how much money we're going to pay back in interest. So we're just finding the interest. Remember, simple interest equals the principal times the rate times time. So we're going to multiply 150 times 10 times 4, and I already know that 10 times 4 is 40. So now in order for me to find how much I'm going to pay in interest, I need to multiply this 150 times 40, and that will tell me how much interest I'm going to pay back. So 0 into 0, 0, 0 into 5, 0, 0 into 1, 0. Then under your tens place, 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 5, 20. Bring on a 0, carry the 2. 4 times 1, 4, and 2, 6. So 0, 0, 0. So we put our dollar sign, bring down our 6. So we're going to pay back in interest $6,000. So this $6,000 is just for the interest on that $15,000 at 10% for 4 years. So now, in order for us to find out how much we'll pay back, we simply need to add how much we borrow plus the interest. So remember, when we went to the institution, we borrowed $15,000. So $15,000 plus our interest that we have to pay back, which is $6,000. And now when we add up this $15,000 plus this $6,000, that tells us how much we're going to pay back the institution. So 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. Then 6 plus 5, 11. Bring down the 1. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So when we pay back the institution for those 4 years, we're going to pay them $21,000. All right, again, so remember, in order for us to find simple interest, we need to use the formula, the principal times the rate times the time divided by 100. Because remember, we're going to pay 10%. So the principal is the $15,000 times 10%, which is the interest that you're going to pay on this $15,000, and the time 4 years, we're going to pay on this $15,000 over 100. So remember, we cancel 2 zeros from the 100, 2 zeros from the $15,000, and that left us with 150 times 10 times 4. So we'll just multiply 10 times 4, and that gives us 40. And when we multiply this 150 by 40, that gives us $6,000. And the $6,000 is our interest. So again, how did we get the $6,000? It's $15,000, which is your principal, times your rate, which is 10% interest, times the 4 years divided by 100. And that gave us $6,000. And in order for us to find how much we will pay back the institution, remember when we went to borrow, we borrowed $15,000 plus the $6,000 interest, which is a total $21,000. Again, remember you can subscribe for quick access to all the videos. Look forward for much more when it comes to the subjects for PSE. So share with a friend, tell someone about this video. Remember you can subscribe for quick access to all the videos posted. Thank you.